SD now we come.
Yeah. Okay, so welcome guys to another session. Initially, we have looked at some of the basic configuration steps for asset accounting, and we'll just run through what is left and then move to basic configurations. Looking at pricing procedure in SD, we'll look at FI, SD integration. Then when next we meet, we'll also look at the FIMM integration, do some end user transactions, prepare a financial statement version, and hopefully call it a session. So let's see what is left for asset accounting, right? So we have dealt a lot in the integration with GL. We have looked at some areas in the general valuation, right? So if you go to general valuation and remember we are still within the menu part here. So when you go to SPRO, you go to financial accounting, you come to asset accounting. So you have the option there, general valuation. Here we have depreciation areas. We have talked about the depreciation areas. Here we'll look. Oh, sorry, I need to restart my screen because of idle time. Go to SPRO, reference ING, financial accounting, asset accounting, general valuation. Okay, so we have here depreciation areas. We've looked at it. We have depreciation areas for class. We've looked at it. Let's go to depreciation areas. Okay, we have looked at all this. Determine depreciation areas in asset class. So click on it, put your depreciation areas, maybe CD. So select our asset class, go to depreciation areas. So here you can see that for our asset class, we have all the depreciation areas we talked about. We have deactivated insurance, we don't need it. So we have book depreciation, group, all those things we defined here. And we have also looked at we'll also look at the layout. We also, in our next class, we are going to be fixing the depreciation keys. That's the next thing we have for them. We'll come back here and do the basic assignments. Okay, so let's go to depreciation. Basically, in asset accounting, we have the various depreciation types. And we're going to look at, how this fits into our day-to-day work. Okay, so if you go to depreciation, for example, we have three types of depreciation: the ordinary depreciation, special depreciation, and the unplanned depreciation. Esther, Esther, are you there? Esther, are you there?
She has gone to cook.
Okay. Please tell us what you understand by ordinary depreciation.
Okay. Ordinary depreciation, let's say, is just the normal.
Okay.
Maybe day-to-day, depreciation that you run. Maybe on your month-end, year-end depreciation that you run. These are those. Okay. They come under the asset class that's, that is aligned to your business. You understand me? So they are just the normal monthly depreciation that you run. But when you come to special depreciation, probably this is based on certain regulation. Maybe you want to comply with a certain regulation. Like as you said, in the US, they have various depreciation and
Areas.
or areas. So these are just the ones that you maybe run in just maybe comply to a regulation, right? Then talk about unplanned depreciation. Unplanned depreciation, it happens, when it is not the due time for you to run your depreciation. Let's assume you run your depreciation at the end of the month, but now you need to run a depreciation maybe middle of the month, right? Yeah, so it's unplanned. Yeah. Then valuation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. That was I think you are an asset. You'll be an asset to SAP when you fully come on board. You have a very strong.
Sorry to
Yes.
cut you. I did an interview recently with Deloitte. That was 3 days ago, right?
Okay.
When I spoke, you know that interview I told you now for Treasury, the letter still wanted to talk to me.
Okay.
When I spoke that very day, in fact, the two hiring managers, they were like, how many years have you been into SAP? You understand me? So I'm just waiting for that opportunity to just click. Trust me,
yeah,
I will
true.
do well.
It will.
Thank
It
you.
will click. It will click. Yeah. So thanks. Yeah, ordinary depreciation is the normal depreciation you carry out. For example, for straight line, which is a type, you'd when the year ends, you do your the value of whatever the book value is, you run your depreciation, then post what you need to post to accumulated depreciation. So what is fixed is fixed. There's no surprises. In special depreciation, like Chico has very, very rightly put, there are depreciations that happen. Maybe a certain asset you procured and there's a certain law that says depreciate this asset like this, or standards. We have international standards. You could also say, okay, for this type of assets, you depreciate them in a certain way. Then the third, we have unplanned. Unplanned can happen, for example, you have put the property or the vehicle. Let's say you procure a vehicle and you have set the depreciation, your capitalization, everything in the system, and something happened. Maybe the vehicle had an accident and you have to somehow either retire that asset or devalue it or something or scrap it. That can happen. That's also an example of what we call an unplanned depreciation. So these are the types of depreciation we have, and um, under each depreciation type, you have very, very, very important keys. Number one, you have the depreciation area. Like we said, ordinary depreciation, we define the depreciation areas. Remember these depreciation areas. We have said that all these depreciation areas will apply to the ordinary depreciation. However, for example, if by law this guy does not apply to ordinary depreciation, this guy does not apply, this guy does not apply, this guy does not apply, this one does not apply, you can remove them from ordinary depreciation. So here you can specify, okay, which of the depreciation area will be related to ordinary depreciation. So I've specified them and I'll click on save. And I'll say okay. So here you can define which depreciation area applies to which depreciation type. The rest you have assign accounts. So you need to also check if we have assigned the GL to the ordinary depreciation. So select this, go to account determination, look for your asset and go to ordinary depreciation. Go to book depreciation. Remember, oh, you see now that it's telling us that this has not been assigned. I wonder why. Right? So let's do the assignment.
I'm not sure we saved it that time.
I'm thinking so. So it's good we checked. So let's special. Oh, for building, did we do for the other assets, Seth? I think we didn't do for the other assets. But let's check anyways. So I'm going to put accumulated depreciation is an asset, so supposed to be a liability, but we have some issues with that. 005. No, this is 1004. Yeah, we'll do this expense. It's good we have to check. I'll save this. So let's check the, okay, this was actually added. All right, it's fine. So we have checked for buildings. Let's check for, sorry. Let's check for the other one, plant and machinery. Book depreciation, local currency. Okay. So the consolidated. Okay, this is fine. So we have checked for ordinary depreciation, the account, the GL integration with the ordinary depreciation. Yeah, this is what I wanted to say. Unit of production. Esther, are you there? Why is Esther not here?
Yes,
Esther,
I'm here.
okay. Do you remember unit of production depreciation, what it means?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello, I'm here. What did you say?
Can you remember what unit of production type of depreciation is? What it stands for, or can you define it?
No, I don't know what it is. Oh. Excuse.
Okay.
This voice.
Okay, Chiku, can you remember?
Yeah. Okay, unit of production depreciation, is based on, will I say, is based on output, like for manufacturing companies, right? Yeah.
Okay.
It based, like, just correct me. Don't worry, correct me.
No problem. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, the attempt was very, very well good. So unit of production, it normally applies, like you said, it's based on output. It normally applies to the oil and gas industry where they have wells. When you're
Exactly.
depreciating an oil, when you're depreciating an oil well, for example, you don't use straight line and all that. You don't use ordinary depreciation. Although unit of production is part of ordinary depreciation. However, for units of production, the depreciation happens as a result of the output that has come out from the well that you're drilling. So let's say, for example, if the output of the well is 1 million barrel, you will depreciate that well based on the output for every period. And of course, it has a formula, the output times the scrap value over, and all that. Then the unit of production, then you multiply that as the output to know the depreciation for that year. So especially this project I'm in, it's an oil and gas industry that has a well. And I think this was the first question that the project manager asked me about unit of production. So you see, you can define the units here, right? In every year, you can say, okay, for this year, we are expecting for this year 2022, where the period one, the unit where the how much, what is the value, what unit are we, what is the total unit of that well, and what's what's the quantity that you're going to be using for your depreciation. So the total units for this period, you have to define all the periods according to the financial year and put the quantities. Then when the period happens, so you see as you produce and use the actual quantity that was used for a specific period, that is that quantity that actually would use to define the depreciation for that period. So it's based on the output of that well for that period. That's what the unit of production is. So it's actually part of the ordinary depreciation. So in case it comes out, then we have special depreciation. You also can define the depreciation areas, calculate ordinary depreciation for special depreciation, assign accounts. So basically, that's what we do in depreciation. You can define all these types of depreciations, right? Then the valuation method. In the valuation method, now when you define the depreciation, when you define the types of depreciation, the depreciation keys will carry the first what is the rate, at what rate, how many years, to define those factors that the ordinary depreciation will use to run its depreciation. So we call them the depreciation keys or depreciation terms. So if you go to the valuation method, go to depreciation keys, go to the calculation method, you're going to see the method of calculating depreciation. This first one we saw was a type of depreciations. In the next, we have the method of calculating depreciation. In SAP, we have 5 methods of calculating depreciation. Please take note of that. In SAP, we have 5 methods of calculating depreciation. We have the base method, declining balance method, maximum amount method, define multi-level methods, and maintain period control method. These are the 5 methods you use to calculate depreciation. Of course, the base method here, you have the different kinds of depreciation that can happen in the base method, right? You have the sum of digit years, leasing, declining balance, blah blah. So all these are different calculation types. So for example, if we select this, open this up, you're going to see that the base method is tied to the ordinary depreciation. So the depreciation type, the base method is tied to the depreciation type, right? So this is where the configuration for depreciation and depreciation type actually happens. Just to explain that, in case you can also create your own depreciation type and set up the formula. So let's say, for example, we have ordinary declining balance for Japanese. So different kinds of depreciation for different kinds of countries. You have depreciation after planned life, net book value 0, and all those settings. So when you can take your time and read about these different types of depreciations, very, very important for you. You also have the default values where you can propose values for depreciation areas and company code. But we're not actually working on these default values. We'll look at maintain depreciation keys. So how do we maintain the depreciation keys? This is where we're supposed to be. So in depreciation keys, we have no depreciation. So if, for example, that asset is not subject to depreciation, like we have some assets that don't depreciate, land, for example, this key will be applied to that depreciation calculation method. We have other depreciation types for properties, we have straight line method, 2%, 5%. So these are the depreciation keys, right? And you can assign them to the calculation method. So what do? You select this depreciation key, go to the calculation method. So you can see the depreciation type, ordinary depreciation, the base, this is the declining method, period control. These are all the types of calculation methods. Then you have the class straight line method, so all these configuration have been done in real life, right? What you can do is to delete all these ones that you're not using. Most times companies use straight line, just one, or you have low value assets. You can also assign depreciation to low value assets. So, but most times you just see one here, which is straight line that applies to all the assets for ordinary depreciation.
Sorry, Kelechi. Sorry,
yes,
please. In real life, right? Because the server we are using now is like more of a demo server that have so many, information in it. In real life, if SAP is giving license to an organization, right?
Yes.
I asked because I've not tested in real life. If SAP is giving license to an organization, does it come with some of this information? Like you said,
yes,
in real life, you can delete the ones that
yes now.
So
yes now, yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's the beauty of SAP, right? They won't give you something to. You can't start. You cannot.
Yeah.
You cannot start from. You can't start afresh.
Okay.
So they will give you. You have an idea of the company. Of course. When you're using even this thing you're looking at sandbox, right? It's the same thing you will see in a real life company. The same thing. Do you understand? This interface you're seeing is the same. Nothing changed. In fact, you'll be seeing some of these things, sir. So, but what they do is that, when we create new company, you don't copy some of these things. Do you understand?
Exactly.
You will not copy. So sometimes you won't see some of this information if you don't copy an existing company code. You have to be the one to define them yourself. But you will still see some of them in some fields. If you don't want them, you can delete them. They are just there to guide you when you're doing your configuration. In fact, we were doing testing. We're doing testing for, I think it's AP or asset accounting or so. We saw some information that was from the demo, like something you're seeing. Like we saw some of them. So part of what the end user said is they should remove those things that does not concern them. Do you understand?
Yes, Kelechi.
Are you there? Yeah.
Yes,
So in real life, you will see them. Just delete them. It's not a problem.
Perfect.
Yeah. So you see all of them. Okay, we have period. Okay, this is for the valuation method. So please go back and read more about the different kinds of depreciation. We have period control. In period control, you control the different periods. When you start, depreciation start date, is it every month and all that. So this is just period control for your depreciation. Calendar assignment, time dependent controls. You can define how this also applies to your different types of this also applies to your depreciation keys. So this is what we can say about asset accounting. We have master data where you can do validation, substitution. We have screen layouts. You can define screen layout for depreciation areas, screen layout for asset master. If you go to screen layout for asset master, for example, we're using the screen layout. If you pick this guy, go to field groups, so you can see the field status group. If you select this and go to the group rules, you will see the fields that are optional, required. Do you understand? Optional, required, so you can see that. Let me open a field and show you what this screen layout is controlling. So if I go to a new GUI, for example, and say AS01, that's to create a new asset. And for example, I put the asset class here. Okay, company code IBTC. There's still one last step we need to do. So you can see my asset class should be active. I have my asset class here, and I go to master data. Yes, I need to do this is the last step I need to complete before I can, finish this task. But when I do that, I'm going to show you how I'm going to leave that field open so I can show you how that field is actually being controlled, basically. So the last step we'll have to do is to define transfer dates and additional parameters for year-end closing activities, right? So not normally the way the system is, the period is not open for asset accounting. So we have to regig the system and let the system know that we are ready. In fact, in my current project, the consultant did not do this last step. So when we're testing, this error came out. I was the one that, because you see now that why you need to go for, when you're constantly on training and you're open to do the new learning, I was the one that, imagine somebody that just came 2 or 3 days ago was the one now saying, okay, I think the error is coming from here. check this T code, you can fix.
Seriously, that guy, if he's a consultant, I don't know his level of experience. Even me as a novice, when I did my asset configuration, based on what I read, I have to go and open and put the fiscal year. So if a consultant could do such error in real life, they should remove his certificate.
No, I won't say that. I won't say that. You know, the work is, if you're in a real project, you will forget. Do you know what it takes to get you to that point? There's a lot of work to do. In fact, ever see pressure?
Una dey try you accounting.
Yeah. Never see pressure. Crazy. So that's why we do testing at the dev system and at the QA.
Yeah.
You have to test. In fact, I joined them, what I'm doing now is, when I'm done, if I have the time, I'll show you the SAP ALM. We call it ALM. That ALM I taught you guys during the project phase. Please, before you go for interview, go through that video again. ALM is like a database that has all the test scripts. So in ALM, that's where you test all the processes, all the modules on all the processes end to end. Right? So SAP guides you through those testing. And when you test, if you have any error, you screenshot it and send it to the team that is responsible, and it's resolved. So everything I taught you in that project phase is what happens as per real life. And I'm also doing it where I am now. Right? So that's.
Are you working remotely from the office?
No, I'm going to the office. You know, we're going live on Wednesday. So after now, yes. The project, if I was a brownfield project.
Conversion.
Yes, conversion.
To S4HANA.
So, yes. So
my friend actually worked on that project before she moved to Canada. Actually, one lady.
Okay.
So the ALM is where you test the system, right? During
yes, ALM is like
and quantity assurance, Abi?
Yes, ALM is like, it's like an app. So when you, after this class, please Google SAP ALM. Please, guys.
So it's like ALM.
Google SAP Signavio or something like that. Let me check. Google SAP ALM. Let me call it Solution Manager.
Okay.
Are you seeing it? Application Lifecycle
Management. Yeah.
You see, provides processes, tools, best practice, and service to manage. So everything, all the testing, all the processes, all the, and all that, you can find them in SAP ALM. Then we have SAP Signavio. Let me see if it's so SAP Signavio. So this is a process. This is where you build your processes. So these are new tools in SAP. When I was doing that presentation, Signavio is like where it's I forgot Watermark or something, where you build processes. So you can use Signavio to build your process. Waterfall? No. I'm forgetting the. Okay, no, not waterfall. I'm forgetting
process flow design. Use it.
Yes.
BPMN.
There's another one BPM. This business process navigation and what's it called?
Yes. BPMN.
Annotation or something like that.
Exactly. So easy to design.
Yes.
Easy to design processes. So those are some of the tools. Those are some of the tools that you would find when you go into a project.
Okay, so
right? So let's do this.
If you don't use Signavio, you can use BPN.
No. There are different things. Yeah. But in SAP, you most likely use Signavio.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially if you're in the cloud, if you're doing the cloud implementation. You know, they say the best practice will be ending by June.
Wow. This June?
Yeah.
After that, when do they use now?
Signavio and LLM will be using.
Oh, okay. That one you can mention it now. Say at least you know small in interview.
Yes, no. By June, best practice is ending. So let's run the last phase for the assets. Go to SPRO, SAP reference ING, financial accounting, asset accounting, asset data transfer. So here you're supposed to do the last activity, open the period for asset accounting. Then I think what we have here is parameters for data transfer, define transfer dates and additional parameters. So it's going to display this same page you see here is the same thing we see in our live system. So basically nothing changed. This same thing you're going to see in the live system. So you can go to general setting. This is for testing. Go to legacy transfer, select your leading ledger. So this will apply for your leading ledger. Let's see.
Okay, let's have a question. It says distribution. Can you do a bit pricing? Pricing with me also.
Yeah, pricing procedure.
Yes.
Once we are done with this, we'll look at pricing procedure.
Okay.
So
I think click on create to activate it. No,
it's not activated.
There's one code. There's one code that change your display, right? No, there's one code.
Yeah. It's FAA underscore CMA now. FFA underscore CMP. This is where you will land, but let me check. Let me see something.
There's a place we click.
Why is it not active?
That place.
For testing, for productive, and
then click here. Go to legacy transfer. It's supposed to show me create.
Yeah, it's supposed to show you create.
Show me create. Okay, let me check something. Okay, so this is what you are talking about.
Yes.
Select the company code. Click on create and display. Click on create. Yeah, so put it in edit form. Transfer date, you can say, you can leave. So we are opening we're ending 2021, right? Yeah. So when we end it, we hope that it will open 2022. We're ending 2021. Let me see if we have another. Okay, in preparation is fine. We also need to check if we have this row. Okay, let me check. Document type, asset accounting, comment. No, I'm not suppressing. So let's try this. So save. Company code, no fiscal year was open via BCF in. This is just a warning.
Just a warning. Yeah.
So of course we're not live, so it's fine. Let's see if we will do same for. Okay, I think the leading ledger is fine. Okay, so let's see. Let's confirm. Okay, everything is okay.
It's okay. No,
everything is fine. Okay, so let's. Okay, of course. You can also transfer balances. If we go to, let me check if we can move, there are any balances to move. FAGL, GTV.
No.
FAGL, GTV. Okay, I think this FAG. Okay, why am I putting
FGL?
FAGL? GTV. I need to check this. This is to move edges. G underscore GTV. Okay, I think I'll need to check this T code. Let me see why it is not giving me what I want. Because I need to move ledger balances to the next period. Okay, so let's try again. Let's try again. Okay. Master data. So I'm free now, right? So why did I come here? I want to show you how this screen layout controls the field. So if I minimize this, for example, I minimize this, you're going to see, you see the screen layout, how it controls the fields. Sorry, guys. These fields are... So I'm going to push this here. So you can see that description 1, description is here. We have inventory, see inventory here. General long text. This should be the long text. It's not active here. It's optional. Quantity, this is quantity. You know, serial number, depending on the asset class you're selecting. So the field groups actually control how each of these fields work. If I make a field required, that means you must provide information for that field before you move to the next job. So this is what the field, say no, this is what the field status does, the screen layouts does. You can also do screen layout for asset depreciation. So it's the same thing. You know, we use one as our screen layout. So we can see the depreciation keys and all that. So that's that. So basically, we have, for information, you can go to see basic report, asset transfer. You can set parameters for transfers and all that. So this has taken us to the end of asset accounting configuration. The next thing we are going to do is master data to do end user. And my plan is that for next week, we are going to do a lot of end user transactions. So that Esther will also be carried along, and some SD transactions too, because then after then we'll now conclude with our financial statement version and try to see the financial statement and call it a session. So let's go to SD and see some of the processes we can define in the SD part. So what we are going to do in SD today, we are going to look at pricing procedure, how we can do the configuration for pricing procedure. Then we will look at the integration between FI and SD. So the question is, what is pricing procedure? Now, basically, pricing procedure is a way to determine prices in your, when you, of course, determine prices for sale or for purchases, right? So pricing procedure gives the functionality to assign calculation types for different requirements. So how does the system know what price to assign to a particular document? The pricing procedure actually defines that. And also to note that the pricing procedure is calculated based on the condition methods. We're going to see and of course the condition types. We're going to see how these tools actually affect how prices are being computed. It's a very, very important SD functionality. So for the structure, we're going to look at the condition records, condition tables. We'll look at the access sequence, condition type, and of course the pricing procedure. So the first step we're going to look at now is to go to the field where we're going to define, where we're going to define and assign pricing procedures. But let's see how we're going to do this. Let's start by looking at the condition tables. Then we'll take it one step at a time. So go to SPRO, go to SAP reference ING, go to sales and distribution. In sales and distribution, go to basic functions, go to pricing and pricing control. So if you go to pricing, you're going to see some of the activities: price control, processing status, pricing reports, and the rest. So go to price control. We have define condition types, access sequence, define and assign pricing procedures, pricing by category, item category, and the rest of them. Right. So we're going to start by looking at the. We also have condition tables, which we can look at. So let's go to condition tables. We have create condition tables or define change condition tables and the rest of them, right? But we are not, these are fields that are there by standard, so we might not be doing anything here. You see, they are cross-client. So when SAP gives you this warning, it means that you should avoid making any changes except it is absolutely necessary. All right. So all these fields and tables have already been configured based on the fields. So that's all these parts are not necessary. You can look at the tables that controls the fields. Right. So we're going to move just straight to the condition types. Okay, so we can define access sequence. We can check condition types for pricing. So we have different condition types. These are all standards. I think the one we are most focused on is we have BRG. Let's see. Okay, so we have price plus tax.
Sorry, because condition types works together with the condition class also, I think. Because you have condition type work with the calculation type. Sorry.
Yeah, of course, we will have the condition type is assigned to the calculation class and to the calculation type. These are when you call up a sales field, for example, sometimes the prices are fixed and sometimes they are based on percentages.
Yeah.
Right. So the condition type that you pick or you assign to your pricing procedure will define how that field or how that pricing field will actually how it will operate. We also have the fields that are tax related, and all that. Yes. So, but these are standards depending on the configuration you're actually working on.
Kelechi, sorry.
So, yes.
Sorry. He's not related to this. Is Chika your sister?
Chika who?
Adiole?
She's not my sister. She's my wife now.
Oh, that's your wife. Oh, some of you look alike. Oh.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's what happens sometimes.
Now,
Yeah.
if you live together a long time, now you start looking alike.
So
Now your
like
voice
Yeah,
start sounding
yeah,
the same.
oh, nice, nice.
yeah. Okay, so basically we're going to see how we're going to how we're going to use these condition types to do our pricing procedure as we move on. We can also look at the asset sequence. You can set asset sequence. You can define your asset sequence, but asset sequence, of course, is used to do the price calculation. So if you, for example, go to set asset sequence, all these are already fixed by standard. You're going to see different asset sequences. PRO, let me see if we
Yes.
have that here.
That one is normal price.
Yes, that one is your normal price. PROO.
PROO. Then you have also something like K something. KFO.
Yeah, so this is your price, and the asset sequence would pick this for you. Assign this basically to your pricing procedure and your condition types when we get to that point. So for example, you can select this and go to accesses to see how the computation was done. So for prices, you can check the requirements. So what we are looking for is three is foreign currency and foreign currency document. So what this is saying is that for your table number, the calculation, remember these asset sequences like the brain behind the calculation of how the price actually calculates,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we are advised most times to leave this at standard because these are ties to different fields. So if I select this and go to fields, for example, you're going to see different configurations. Right? So this is a condition, right? The condition field, like I said, the condition is assigned to the access sequence and the condition types. So this is the condition. This is document structure.
Mm-hmm.
This should be for finance. KOMK. I will check that. You have the document field. Then so in your asset sequence, for example, the condition, the document structure, the document field are all assigned to your structure. These are what does pricing calculation. So take note that for the asset sequence for calculating prices, you have the condition, you have the document structure, which will define the kind of document that it's making calculation for, and you have the document field. The document field controls how the document works. So remember when you want to create a sales order, you provide things like the sales organization, the distribution
Mm-hmm.
channel,
Mm-hmm.
and all that. So this structure define how those fields work, and it's advisable that we let them. It's already been configured by standard. Normally,
Mm-hmm.
I won't go through this in configuration. I just need to show you how the system has configured these processes to do the calculation of prices. Right.
I have a question. Do we
So
have to create? There's a
yes,
table. We don't create table direct, right? Because it's
condition
assigned in the table.
tables.
Yeah.
Condition tables.
Condition table.
Yes, the condition tables are assigned to the asset sequence. So that's the condition tables here,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
We don't need to create. We already have condition tables. So
Mm-hmm.
I will know that anything that is cross client, I let it be.
Mm-hmm.
So we already have condition tables. So we don't need to create condition tables. We can let that be. Um, we'll just focus on the tables that are there and move on. But let's see if we need to do that. Let me check Of course, it's just 4 fields here, so I'm fine. I'm fine with what is here.
Ja.
Das Öl in dem Topf, was hast du denn da vorher drin gekocht?
Welche Öl?
Die Oil in die Pot.
Ich weiß,
In die.
Kochbraten habe ich gebraten.
Okay.
So I'm fine with what is here. PROO. This is for an access. The fields there. I have my condition. These are the tables.
Yeah,
They're already assigned to the access sequence. So they are fine. These 4 are the standards. I will just have to let them. Yeah, we can even check access sequence for tax. For tax, for FI. When we do the FI people, finance people, when we do the integration between FI and SD, this is one of the integration points. So these are the condition. These are the access sequence for taxes. If you go to the fields, these are the own condition tables that controls how taxes work. So these are taxes for sales or purchases. So this is, we'll get to, when we get to the main integration points, we're actually going to, look at those fields. So we're not doing much here. I think the next thing we're going to look at is to define, sorry, let me do this. So define and assign as, yes.
This pricing procedures, I think a customer can do their own individual. Instead of using PROO, sometimes they have different kind of, maybe that one, the discount also, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it depends on we have a lot of them. First of all, check. We have a lot of, in fact, I don't think there's anything you want that is not inside our pricing procedure. SAP has looked at all the possible procedures you can ever have. So it's good you check for creating yours, because even when you copy, you need to know what you're copying because of those fields that are assigned at the back. So in all the projects we have done, people just stay within those defined fields. So please just try and go through all the procedures that you have and maintain it based on what is there. Okay, so I think that the next we are going to look at is to define and assign pricing procedures. All those other fields are there by standard. Please, there is no point worrying yourself over. Just know the pricing procedure, know the access sequence and the tables that are going to affect your transactions. That's all. So the first process here, remember that pricing procedure is basically how the purchase price, which is also tied to SD, the FISD, FIMM, SDMM integration happens at the pricing procedure side, because we are going to see it when we do that work. So let's set the pricing procedure or maintain pricing procedure. So we have different pricing procedures we can use. Let's go to ROVA. Let me check this. Let's look at some standard pricing procedures. So you can see the standard one, ROVA 0001. Right? So you can copy to create your own standard pricing procedure. Right? So let's copy and create as. So click on this and click on copy. So remember, the standard is ROVA 0. So let's create our own procedure. Let's say IBTC pricing procedure. Pricing procedure. We'll leave it as standard as it is. Click on enter. Copy all. And we can. This is step 5, step 8. Everything is good. Where is it? This is the condition type. The condition type to pick is EK001. Let me check. Let me see the EK active cost, which is fine. Yes. So click on enter again. So it's telling us that for step 11, usually print types ABCD. So step 11 is picking the condition type, which is PRRO, like I said, the standard. It's a required field.
And it's
the accounting key. This is finance now, right? So finance, this is where integration between FI and SD happens. Yes, this is revenue. The FI people, are you there?
Yes.
So
yes.
this is also a very important integration point. So it's all fixed. Click on enter. Give me some time to copy this. So sorry guys for the network. Okay, it's fine. Step 13, gross price is fine. This is revenue. This is required. So we have step 8, step 11, step 13. Click on enter. Please take note of the procedure. IB step 20, variant price, all tied to revenue is fine. Enter. Gross value, fine. Step 101, sales deal. Copying all price group for materials, customer material, customer discounts. So the account type here is ERS. Let's see what ERS says. ERS is sales deductions, that's discounts. Pricing group for the condition type K020. So for all the just have to click enter. It's going to assign all the condition types to new pricing procedure. Just enter until it gets to the last. So we're done. Then you can click on save. Where you can select and go to pricing, go to the data. So all that it copied is here. So you can see the mandatory fields, the manual fields. You can see the required fields. So price is required, other ones. So when you call up, for example, an invoice document or a sales order, these are the different pricing procedures that you will find: actual cost, the price gross, and all that. So this was what was copied. These are the controls also. This is like a field status. So what controls the condition type? So for the pricing procedure, so please patients, take note. For pricing procedure, what is assigned to pricing procedure? The step, the condition type, the accounting key. These are then let's see, these are the very three important keys or two important items that are assigned to the procedure: the condition type, the step, and the accounting keys. You can click on save. It's fine. Click on enter and save. Right, so we have actually defined that. Let's see if there is anything left from my end. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is
these
to
are
define customer.
I was saying, sorry, this condition type I was saying says KOAO1 and all this type. This K0, K2.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, these are for different types of different pricing procedures. They might not apply though, but I mean that's why the required one is price. That you must provide, but all these ones depends on the transaction.
Yeah.
Right. So I think the next thing we're going to look at, just a minute, let me check this. Okay. So go back. So we have our standard pricing procedure. Set customer pricing procedure. So we can set the pricing procedure we have created. We can set it for the customer. So we have customer pricing procedure. Now, I don't want to, let me just focus. When we do the configuration, we're going to see how, let me show us something so that we'll appreciate this field very well. Let me go to BP. Let's show us where that field is. So I want to go to the SD side. SAP is actually very interesting when you understand what it extend to customer, extend to SD, go to sales and distribution, go to billing. See billing. Let me see. So account assignment, customer group 01. Let me check if it's what is here. Sorry. So customer pricing procedure. Okay, I can find this in MM. I'll find this in MM. When we get to MM, we're going to see that field. Well, let me check if this is here. Okay. We're going to see that field. We're going to see the integration between FI and MM. Some of the integrations between FI and MM in that field. Just keep that in mind as we go on. Right. So we'll look at some of the pricing procedures, customer pricing procedures we have. So let's say, for example, 01 is the standard. 02, you can also create your own pricing procedure, but we're going to stick with 1, which is the standard pricing procedure. Right. So let's look at set pricing procedure, set document pricing procedure. So also this is defined. We have subcontracting, we have contract. So these are all documents, just like in FI we have document types. So these are the documents for the pricing procedures. We have subcontracting, we have opportunity, we have repairs, billing services, and all. So the pricing procedure will apply to some of these. We have sales order, which is quite very popular there, that will apply. Right. So I think that assign document pricing procedure to other types. I think this is where we'll have to do some assignments. So let's check for our pricing procedure. I think our sales organization is supposed to be here. Let's check. Sales document type. I think, okay. So let's see the document types we have here has already been assigned. 01 inquiry A, quotation A is the standard. If you go to document pricing procedure, A is standard. So basically, let's check here. Document pricing procedure A is standard. Right, so we can use A and assign A to the different types of documents. So we have inquiry, quotation, invoice, standard order, and the rest of them. So by standard, the standard document is assigned to the various document types. Right, so that's part of the definition, so that when we want to create sales order and all that, you can see these documents, these procedures aligned to the document. I think these are the basic things. Assign document pricing procedure to billing types is the same thing.
Yeah.
For billing, let's see the standard. I think billing is A is also assigned to the standard. Looking for the standard billing document. So this is the standard. I don't know. Okay, this is not. This is. Let me check. Billing training standard. The standard. Okay, so I think rebates. Let me check.
Says I think says documents. Says document other type of like says document inquiry and quotation. I think.
Yeah, you have already assigned that these are billing documents or billing types that would close. I think they're already the standards here. Let me check so billing is like the final phase after you have done your delivery and all that. So we have this as standard. Let me see, service contract. These ones were all created. I think it's A that is still the standard.
The standard, yeah.
So we're not doing anything here. Set pricing procedure determination.
Yeah.
This is where we now do the assignment of everything we have done, right? So we'll go to our sales organization. What was our sales organization, please?
I think it's
I can't remember.
IBTCPP. Sales organization. IBTC, I think.
Not seeing anything like that here. Okay, I have to. Okay.
Let's just one moment.
Don't worry. I'll just check our sales. Let me just IBTC.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to copy from the standard. We have our own pricing procedure, so we're going to change it.
The standard is
IBTC. Okay. Distribution area.
Distribution area is
distribution channel rather. Distribution channel.
No, it's R1 or RI.
Division.
Division is IB.
Document pricing procedure standard is A now.
Yes, standard.
So let's customer pricing procedure 1. Pricing procedure, we changed ours, right? Which one did we use? IB something. IBT. You didn't write it.
IBTCPP.
Yes. Then we're using the condition type for the standard. Very, very important. So click on enter. So what we did here was to assign the pricing procedure and the condition type to our sales organization. And save. Oh, this is SD. Let me check the one we have been doing since. There's something on SD configuration. Then check settings for pricing procedure. What was the pricing procedure?
IBTCPP.
Let's check if the settings are okay. So no errors we have found. So we have successfully configured and defined our pricing procedure. So in the next class, we're going to look at, I'm leaving all the end user activities for next weekend. What's the transaction code to create a sales order?
VA01.
Go and cram all these things. So VA01, I just want to test what we have done. Order type, sales order. What was the ORD?
ORG, what? Sales order?
It's ORD. It's not supposed to be OPQ OR or something.
Yeah, OR is
order. See, did somebody change it to OR1?
Oh, yeah.
OR.
Yes.
What's the sales organization?
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to see the standard. I don't know why somebody changed it to OR1. Distribution channel.
Distribution channel is R1.
Division.
1B.
Sales office.
Did we do sales office?
Yes.
I there's one as cemented sales group. Okay, wait, sales office IBTC or IBT2. IBTC or IBT2. I think it's I'm saying
IBTC.
Okay, sales group is IBTC or IBT, I guess. IBTC. Yes, sir.
IBT.
Oh, IBT, so I'm correct.
IBT. So click
correct.
on enter. Let's check what we have done and create. We have not done side, so we can't even create a sales order. That's the thing with teaching SD. If you teach SD, there's no way you won't do configuration for You end up doing FICO, SD, and Do you understand?
I remember this page very well, yeah.
So if you teach SD, what I've taught you, I've gone around FICO, SD, and if I want to do this thing now, I have to go and create material and do configuration for before we can even go past. So you select the customer. I think we have created a customer. We have a lot of customers.
IBTC, yeah.
Select the sold to party to same thing.
Yeah. But sometimes it can vary, sold to party and ship to party.
Yeah, it can. Depending on what you did in your.
Yeah.
So here we're supposed to select the material.
Item, yes.
Well, the item. We don't have any item for our accompanying code yet.
Amen.
To throw up an error. I'm just using it to do you longer throat for now. So we will have. So you can put the quantity, put the item category, the plants, the currency, profit center, and you save. You created your sales order. So we need to do to finish this process. So we're going to stop it here for now. But the beauty is that we have actually run through the configuration for SD. So we are going to say goodbye to this. Okay, so guys, let's look at, yes, we can try this much later. Please make sure you make sure SD, please, not order to cash process. That's the first thing they will ask you in the interview. So you know.
Order to cash process, yeah.
Yes, you have to hold it in your hand like mad. Like you're not even supposed to be guessing. You have to explain. In fact, now let's finish. When we finish, right, we'll now see how we can. The problem is time. It's almost 9:30.
Order to cash process. Is the process now where you get inquiry
from inquiry to
quote, to
all the T codes. Billing, delivery, all the
I know that one.
All
when inquiry come,
no. When I mean you know that, when you say you know that one, right? You're going to be explaining it like a process.
Yes.
And you also, when you come to things like delivery, you're going to also tell them that is the integration between SD and FI.
Yes.
Because it's at that point that the FI guys will receive inventory, so their stock will be debited. All those kind of processes. You need to go back and all the as you're calling the things, you're calling the T codes for them. Yes, as you're saying, inquire.
You know, I have to call
No, it's not
it in
plenty.
German for them. I have the
as you're saying inquiry, you're saying the transaction code to do inquiry is VKLON01. If you go to billing is VF01.
FA01.
All those, FA01 is sales order also. So it is up to you. They'll ask you things how to cancel order, how to reverse sales order, how to cancel sales order. Go and read up all those things. Go and read up, or how do you cancel a sales order that has already been billed? How do you cancel an invoice that has already been billed? There's a T code for that. So go and read how to write it now. Read how to cancel an invoice in SD. How to cancel a sales order in SD.
I will do it. Yeah, invoice. I think I know it's before. I think invoice. I think it's
no think.
I think it's also you can go to FA01. Invoice is true accounting also for invoice. Then
just do what I've asked you to do, because that thing I was supposed to do when I worked with AB Bev. That was because I was doing FISD support. They asked me when you're finished billing an invoice, how do you cancel it? You can't just go and cancel the invoice. You have to reverse the billing first, and there's a VF05 or VF04.
Yeah.
Then you now have to. It is at that point you can now cancel the sales order from VA01. There's a point where you click and say cancel. So these are some of these are real life things that they'll be asking you.
So if you want to cancel an invoice, you have if you want to cancel a sales order first, you have to cancel the invoice before you go cancel the sales order.
You want to cancel billing.
Yes, billing. Reverse the billing, yeah.
If you want to cancel an invoice that has been billed, you cannot cancel an invoice that has been billed.
You have to reverse
it. First thing you do, you have to cancel the billing first, yes, before you reverse the invoice.
Okay.
All right, so let's move. I don't have time.
Okay, sorry. Okay. So
okay, so let's move
to the next level. Yeah.
Yes, I'm coming. Just a minute. I'm trying to. Okay, so the next step is to do FISD integration. We're going to run through that, and that might just come up in both interviews, both FI and SD. So FISD integration, the first thing you must know is that before SD or FI can do any transactions, in projects, they have to meet and look at the integration points. The first point of integration is if I stay idle for a while, this thing goes off.
Yes, that's how it should be now.
Yeah. We'll go to SPRO, reference ING. The first point of integration is in the enterprise structure. So you can take note, both of you or all of you. Go to enterprise structure definition, sales and distribution. Right, so you have, this should be assignments. Sales and distribution. You have assigned sales organization to company code. This is an integration point, right? The transaction code is OVX3. Are you writing? Or later? Anyway, later. The first is assign sales organization to company code. That's the first integration point. And we also have business business area account assignment, where we define rules for sales area. Assign business area to plant and assign business area to sales area. This is business area is an FI transaction, but in terms of assignment, you will see that we are assigning it to sales area. Sales area is an SD object. So this is the integration point. You see that we have not even assigned anyone to us. So we can assign a rule. Can assign 1 or 3. Okay, 1 is fine. That means sales area determination will come from plant. Then you can save. So that's an integration between FI and SD. Take notes, guys. Another integration point is in BP, like I was about to explain to you guys. If you go to BP, get to extend to customer, sales and distribution. You're going to see.
Sorry.
You go to
sorry,
billing. Yes.
Billing.
Sorry, my brother. I need little clarification. Sorry, I need little clarification before we move on here. I think the basic integrations between FI, SD, MM starts from enterprise structure. Is that what you meant?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
They all start from the, but in the enterprise structure, you need to know the exact place where the integration is.
Okay.
So the first thing is around business area. The first point is sales organization to company code. The second point is business area to sales area. Those are the points, because they might ask you. The popular one is VKOA. That's the one everybody knows. But before VKOA, there are other integration points. This one I'm showing you now is at the business partner level for customers. Another integration point between, you can see that I am in the sales and distribution side of the business partner. That's the master data. If you go to billing, you will see accounting. Accounting is inside SD. So the first integration point is account assignment group for customers. This is the integration point, which is revenues. Revenues is FI. So also in business, you have the tax. Tax is FI. So tax classification is the integration, is another integration point between FI and SD. The FI and SD team will sit down and make sure that these objects are available before they can proceed with their. But when you're testing, these are the things that you most likely be testing, and these are the areas where both teams will actually work together.
This BP S4HANA, S4HANA integration, right? This area you are using now is mainly for S4HANA when you are implementing S4HANA, right?
You mean this area? No, it's even in ECC is there.
Yeah, okay.
It's there. I don't think anything changed in terms of this.
Okay.
Then another integration point between FI and SD is in VKOA, where we do revenue account, the GL definition for okay, no. Before we do that, FI MM SD integration, we'll see that in MM01. I don't have, problem now is that I don't have, I haven't seen material type. I need to do some MM configurations. So I'll go to the sales. You see sales area, sales. Where is financial accounting?
Down.
Financial accounting.
Custom.
What's our plant?
I have to go through my book. Did you create
Organization.
should be IBTC.
Distribution channel.
Yeah, it's R1.
Okay, so luckily for us, we can now create our inventory. So you can see that in sales area, so this is the integration between FI, and SD. Three consultants at the same time.
The
integration between, I don't know if you're writing it. The integration between FI, and SD. This is the integration point. Why? MM01 is an transaction where you create materials. It's for consultants. Sales organizational data relates to the SD because they are supposed to provide information for all these delivering plants, and all that. Inside here too, you have FI, you have tax. So the FI consultant will provide you with the tax you're supposed to use, which is full tax. Remember that, let me open a new field. This same field, we saw it in our business partner. Do you remember?
Yes.
Let me go again and show you. So you look at it here. If you go to billing, this same field you're seeing here is the same field with here. So this is the integration part between FI, SD, and If you go to sales organization tool, the thing must ask me to provide something here. All these things I don't want to. I have to provide just to move on. So if you go to sales organization tool, you see this account assignment group materials. Yes. This is another integration point between yes, account assignment. This is basically between and SD. Account assignment group material.
Oh, it's and SD. Yeah, okay,
Yes,
it's true because it says organization too.
and SD. Let's check down. Okay. If you go to sales general plant, you're going to see another integration point in profit center. So another integration point between and SD and FI is that in sales and general plant, we have profit center. Profit center is a CO. In fact, this one is not FI, this one is CO. Sales and CO integration. Profit center. Then if you go to accounting one, this is where you put the valuation class and the price of the goods. This is where that pricing condition we created, this is where it will affect or where it will have an effect. This is our valuation class, finished goods. And this is where we put the price. So this is one of the integration points between FI, and SD. Another point we need to look at is the transaction code VKOA, which is what we call revenue accounts for sales and distribution. That's to provide GLs. You can go to VKOA or we go to SPRO. So write it. When they ask you that question, integration point, the first thing you might likely say is VKOA. But remember that there are other integration points. Go to financial accounting, GL, periodic processing, integrations, sales and distribution. So you have the part here, prepare revenue account determination. So write it. This is another, it's called VKOA. If you go to the key customer group and materials, you're going to see the condition types and all those things that we created. So you see the application, condition type, chart of accounts, sales organization, account assignment group material. Yeah, you seeing this one? Account assignment group customer. Are you seeing it here? Account assignment customer. So this is the master data, but you can see that it's also coming up here. So this is the powerhouse of the integration between FI and SD, VKOA. Then we have this one, group materials, that we saw in MM when we were creating item. Then we have the account key, just as we saw in the last this thing that we did. So we're going to do this assignment. I'm not sure we have for our company code. Let me check. We don't have for IBTC, so we are going to copy this, copy this, copy this, copy this, copy this, copy this. Let me see if ERL is what we used. Yes, so and click on copy. So what was our condition type? We're going to use this K. This is for FI. So this is account determination. This is for CO. We're using the account determination for FI. Finance. Our chart of account is what? Where is our people?
IBCA, yes. IBCA. Chart of account is IBCA. Yeah. So if you want to do this integration, it's finance people that do it, right? Or everybody will just go and fill in their own there?
Your work now, as the work now, finance will just give you the chart of account.
Okay. So we just go to do the integration point is FACAO and own R.
I don't know what they talk.
How is V in German? FACA.
I hear you. Sales organization, IBTC, Abi.
Sales organization is IBTC.
Okay.
Mr. May they teach you German small so that way you come find out.
I go come. I'll go that what be that our headquarters again. What do they call that? How do you pronounce that thing again?
We call them now Waldorf. Waldorf. Yeah. In Mannheim. It's close to Mannheim. That's SAP village.
Wonderful. So we have the account assignment 02. 02 is for what? Foreign revenues. Can have 0101. Then revenue accounts can do.
But this work normally in accounting teams, I don't know why they can't give a sales and distribution to do.
It's not your side now.
But accounting information they there. And even the other national accounting for
we'll give you the information you want. And I won't kill finance, have you? Don't kill us. Where is the revenue account? Sales account. So we can use this revenue account. I have a meeting by another meeting now, sir.
Your day is fully programmed.
Yeah, my I don't have time. So 6 copied. So we are done with the integration between FI and SD.
So I just have a question. This accurates. Maybe if you have accurates, you have to fill in there also.
Yes. So it's not necessary. So I think this is customer group. Is the same thing.
Mm.
So here we have to also define material key.
This is also for sales for material management.
This one are for material management, but you still need the account keys. Yes, but this one is for customer, material, and finance. Find all these ones. Okay, so that's that. Another point that is also very, very important is reconciliation account determination for SD. This is also another integration point. So we'll go to SPRO, SD, basic function. So write it down, account determination, reconciliation GL, account determination for SD. So reconciliation, basic function, account assignment, and consisting.
And that one is seen in basic function.
Reconciliation account determination. So here you can see assign GL account. Go to general. So you see it's already assigned by default. But this is for another company code. INT. So I'm going to copy. Now what does this do? This will tie a reconciliation account. We normally call it ARO. So that whenever you raise a billing document, the account receivable is going to receive it. So you as the SD guy will know that you need this. Finance team is supposed to give you a GL that will help finish this work. You need to know and tell him to provide you with the GLs. So this is fine. The chart of accounts is IBCA. Sales organization is IBTC. Our reconciliation account for GL
It's
is
3,000. 3,000,
yeah, that's revenue.
Revenue, okay.
Accounts receivable is 7,001.
Okay.
Then we save. So this is another integration point between FI and SD. The last but not least is cash account determination for SD. It's still the same part. You can see it here. Cash account determination for SD. Go to assign GL. Go to general. Here we can provide a cash account for SD. But I'm not going to do that. It's not necessary. But you need to know. The last is assign cost centers for SD. So this is assign cost centers for SD. Here you can say new entries, put the sales organization, put the sales organization, distribution channel division, assign a cost account for this. If the problem is if we assign a specific cost account, it will always be needing that cost account for all the work we're doing. So, but you need to take note of these configuration points. So the transaction code for this is OVF3.
Okay.
OVF3 is to assign cost centers to SD. The transaction code for assigning cash is OV77.
Okay.
Then the transaction code for revenue for reconciliation account is OV64.
Okay, thank you.
So I think there's one I saw here, assigned dunning areas. Dunning areas happens in FI. You can also assign a dunning area. See our transaction code here. You can assign a dunning area. That happens in OVF6.
Okay.
So we're going to stop here, guys. And of course, condition records. If we go to condition records, we are going to see more about account assignment. Thank you very much. In our next class, we're going to look at FI and MM integration. We're going to do end user transactions. We're going to post some transactions. And we are going to try to do our financial statement as much as possible. Right?
Okay.
So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very, very much, Kelechi. Vielen Dank.
Thank you so much.
Dankeschön.
Guys, I appreciate your time. So please remember that for your interviews, you have to cover it's going to be on. So let me just stop this recording. The interview